here's what is going on here. I have just knit the band of the hat, and there's a provisional cast on. The red yarn is the provisional cast on, and I did a crocheted provisional cast on. And now I am unzipping the provisional cast on and getting the live stitches back on the needle. And up here I have secured the stitches with foam earplugs and it works quite well. So they're not going to fall off the needle as you're getting your provisional cast on, your live stitches back on the needle to knit the I-cord bind off. So I find it easiest to do this with the back of the work facing me, where you see all the floats, and you're going to be putting I'm using a double pointed needle just to get the stitches on the needle, and then I transfer them over to the circular needle. So with the back of the work facing me, I work the stitches one at a time. I put the needle through the live stitch, so the red yarn is my provisional cast on yarn, and I can see it running through each stitch, and then I just give a little tug and there's one off. So I'm going to do it again. I just really carefully look at where the red yarn is going through, and I'm going to go from behind. You want to be careful to not split the red yarn so that it gets stuck on there. And once it's on, just give a little tug. And you can see over here sometimes the provisional cast on yarn just wants to stick to the stitches, and then it can be confusing, but you just lift it off. And I always I've learned to use a very smooth yarn, a smooth and strong yarn. So not something that's very rustic and clingy and that wants to felt, because then it becomes quite hard, or it can be. So again, I'm watching where this red one is going through the purple, and it's right there. And I just give it a little tug, and that's another one off. So I have 4 stitches on my double pointed needle, and I'm just gonna transfer them over this way. So I find this the least scary way to unzip a provisional cast on. The first few times I did it, I couldn't unzip it. I had these live stitches hanging out and kept dropping the stitches, and it was a pretty good mess. So one stitch at a time. There we go. Put it through and pull it out. Slow and steady. There's no need to rush. There we go. So they are all going back on to my needle that I'm going to be knitting the I-cord bind off with.